Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek, and it's Saturday, which means it's UFO News Day. Not exactly a bumper crop of UFO news this week, but, we'll muddle through. Be back in a second. Right, I'm back. So I got distracted there for a slight pause with me responding. I'm actually miles away, I know. Getting something ready. Right, so let's have a look at his news today. We've got a couple of videos and some news reports, but like I said, not a lot's happening. There's a news report that I think is just a case of mistaken identity. But we will see. There we go. Right, first up. This one's Terrified Kids Watch Light, Cottageville, South Carolina, October 13th, 2022. So you watch this, just see some... can you see my mouse pointer? No, it's not showing for some reason, my mouse pointer. I don't know why. Is it because of this? Yeah, let's do that. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Yeah, that's meant to go. Our computer's weird. Anyway, you see 3 lights appear. And there could be, I don't know what they are, to be honest, and there doesn't seem to be any sound from them, but I will just play the video and you'll hear. I'll put the volume up so you can hear it. Right, are you ready? Off we go.
Up. Oh my gosh.
That's a plane.
No, it wasn't.
It's a military plane.
Slowly going up. Oh my gosh.
That's a plane.
No, it wasn't.
It just repeats, I think.
It's a military plane.
Slowly.
Oops, but there you go. Let's see if I can pause on a good close-up. There you go. That's it. I don't know what it is. It could be a plane, but there's no noise, is there? Is it a glider? I don't know. But it just seems to be hanging there. It actually reminds me of the UFOs that we see in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's what it reminds me of. But it's interesting. It's interesting. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's probably got a mundane explanation, but don't ask me what it is. Swamp gas. No, it's a genuine UFO. I don't know what it is. They don't know what it is. It's a UFO. It's an unidentified aerial phenomena, as they like to say. We'll do another video, and then we'll go to some news stories, and then we'll go to the most interesting UFO sighting of this week, in my opinion. But first on this one, there are a few on this video here. By the way, all the links in the description below. And as you can see over on the right-hand side of the screen, over there, that way. Like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, follow me on my social medias, and all that. Right. Anyway, this one, this is a roundup video, and there's a few, UFO videos, lots of lights in the sky. And this is a particular light in the sky, one that I just thought were interesting, and I thought, is it a natural phenomena? Possibly, but light pillars, I find these really interesting. Is it a natural phenomena? Is it just like ice crystals? But I don't understand how it works. If it is just a natural phenomena, it's very strange and weird. I mean, look at them. What are they? Is it just weird reflections? Is it ice particles hanging in the atmosphere, catching the setting sun at a certain angle? It's bizarre, isn't it? It's bizarre. And then there's some more things as well, but a lot of them I think are mistaken, satellites and stuff like that. I don't know what this one is. That's a bus. There. Could be anything, couldn't it? Let's have a look. Could be a cloud. That could be a cloud. Just a lonely cloud. That's what it could be. See lights in the sky, stuff like that. Anyway, the link is in the video. in the video. The link is in the description, so you can go and check it out. I found them light pillars fascinating. Right, we'll do some news stories. Brit bloke describes moment he froze while watching UFO that was not of this world. Jerry Woodcock, a retired fishing tackle shop owner, claims he saw the marvellous extraterrestrial object while he was on his way home from a day's fishing in Nottinghamshire. I used to love going fishing. I did. Till lockdown happened, you know, corona and all that, coronavirus and all that, and lockdown. My local fishing spot closed, obviously, 'cause they all did. When they opened up again, they weren't doing day tickets. You know, you can just go and pay for a day. You've got to book in advance and be there for at least 24 hours. And that just wasn't for me, because it's not, it's not, I can't do that. But anyway, enough of my fishing woes. So I haven't been fishing for about 3 years. Anyway, there's nothing like sitting by the water, all peaceful and quiet, and it's lovely. Anyway, doesn't matter if you catch anything or not. Right, a Nottinghamshire man describes the moment he was frozen on the spot as he watched a flight of unidentified flying objects that were not of this world. Jerry Woodcock, a retired fish tackle shop owner, claims he saw the marvellous extraterrestrial object on a summer afternoon around 4 years ago. So it's not that little current, is it? What I saw was a big orange ball about as big as 2 airliners. From what? From like a foot away, or from like 10 miles away? What are you talking about? Pardon me. Followed by 2 more grey objects. It came from the west and went towards the east, the 89-year-old said. It was unreal, Jerry told Nottinghamshire Live. The clouds were at a medium height, and it was just above them. It was absolutely round. There was no noise, just moving. They were not of this world. And there's a photo. They've gone in, they've said, OK, point at the sky, but have your head down, but your eyes looking up. I know, because I've been through this. Click. There we go. That's what they've done. Right, anyway, Jerry, who spotted them when returning to his house in South Church Drive at around 5:30 p.m. after a day of fishing, said the objects were moving slowly for about 2 minutes before shooting off in synchronicity. He's now hoping his account will lead to more people coming forward. I've seen something that probably no one else has seen, added Mr. Woodcock. I looked up and thought, oh my God, it was marvellous. I was rooted to the ground. I just watched them. You can't talk about it because people think you're stupid. I mentioned it to a friend and they said you're joking. It proves without doubt that they, aliens, are out there. People think it's a load of rubbish, but it's not. They are definitely there. His son, Tony Woodcock, said the sighting had been driving his dad mad. It was an unusual thing that he saw, and he can't let it go, said the 44-year-old. Every so often he'll mention it. He watches UFO documentaries since he saw that. He realised that there are UFOs out there. I believe him. I believe that there are objects that we don't know what they are. I do believe in them, and my dad wouldn't lie about something like that. He's still all there. He just wants someone to talk to about it. When you see something like that, it's hard to keep it to yourself. And that's it. So, no pictures. No, apart from that. Just a picture of Mr. Woodcock pointing to the sky. But lights in the sky. So, but I'm sure he saw something. Don't know what it was. But interesting nonetheless. Right, here we go. Bizarre reason why alien UFOs aren't visiting Earth revealed, claim scientists. Some may find it offensive. The bizarre reason as to why alien UFOs aren't visiting Earth has been revealed, according to scientists. A new paper titled Galactic Settlement of Low-Mass Stars as a Resolution to the Fermi Paradox, and recently accepted by the Astrophysical Journal for publication, has given some insight into why extraterrestrials may not want to come to Earth. Pictures. Right. The authors of the paper, Jacob Hack-Misra and Thomas J. Forches, I have no idea, suggest that the Fermi paradox has something to do with the reason. In layman's terms, the Fermi paradox puts forth that although statistically life on other planets is probable if it existed, we should have made contact by now. Yeah, 'cause it's the where are they question. If there's alien life out there, why haven't we heard from it? Well, we haven't contacted any other aliens, have we? So why should others? and we're still, in our scientific youth. Anyway, they address the paradox by saying that not all types of stars are desirable to an expanding technological civilization. And also, there's a lot of stars out there. Maybe they just haven't got round to us yet. And low-mass stars, particularly K-dwarf stars, are the best migration targets for long-lived civilizations, Science Alert explains. Is that true, though? Not sure about that. The new paper's authors state and expand... I know I'm not a professional astronomer or anything, but I always thought these dwarf stars were, not really conducive to, having life on their planets. Because a lot of times dwarf stars... they give off a lot of radiation. They're usually stars that are near the end of their life, aren't they? Usually. So they're giving off a lot of radiation more often than not. But anyway, an expanding civilization could rapidly spread through the galaxy, so the absence of extraterrestrial settlement in the solar system implies that such expansionist civilizations do not exist. They say so, it doesn't though. It just says that they haven't been here. And there's a lot of places, a big-ass sky, as they said in the film Armageddon. They just haven't got round to us yet. In more simple terms, it's possible that our solar system is undesirable to aliens because we don't have a certain type of star. That's where the Drake equation comes into play, as it considers how the speed at which stars form in the galaxy, the number of stars that host planets, and how many planets can maintain life. The Drake equation is the probabilistic estimate of the number of advanced civilizations in the Milky Way galaxy. An underlying assumption for many people who contemplate the Fermi paradox is that stars are uniformly attractive to a spacefaring civilization, and the civilization would spread everywhere equally, Science Alert explains. But is that true? The authors of this new paper... The authors of this new paper don't think so. Sorry about that. The paper's authors suggest that following the hypothesis of Hansen and Zuckerman 2021, an expanding civilization will preferentially settle on low-mass K or M dwarf systems, avoiding higher-mass stars in order to maximise their longevity in the galaxy. They add, however, this scenario, as well as full galaxy settlement, can be excluded based on our assumption that the solar system has not been settled. But the lack of extraterrestrial settlement of the solar system remains consistent with expansion that is limited to half the galaxy, M-dwarf stars or K-dwarf stars. Meanwhile, shocking new footage has revealed a spike in UFO sightings reported by US pilots this past summer. What have they gone with that for? Shall we have a look? I think we've seen this one, though, haven't we? Let's have a look. Yeah, we saw it. We did this last week. Yeah, we did that last week. The unusual sightings which occurred over the Pacific Ocean this summer were caught on video and in air traffic recordings, according to the Daily Mail. The footage shared by the news outlet was captured after dozens of pilots reported seeing UFOs. A former F-18 pilot and seasoned captains recounted to the news outlet how they saw bright lights moving in circles for hours as they were flying to the US West Coast from Japan and Hawaii. The FAA was notified of the sightings, which took place in August and September. Some pilots even tried to record when they viewed around 3 to 5 bright lights flying around. The DailyMail.com was told by some of the witnesses that employers of those who saw the UFOs had asked them not to share their stories. The publication shared a video clip of a UFO that was spotted by 6 different airlines flying toward the US. And a new study published in Space Policy, posits that even well-meaning aliens could be dangerous to humans. Oh, I haven't seen that one. We'll have to have a look at that in a moment. Or is this the one? Is this the one that we've looked at? Because Space Policy, that rings a bell. Is this one that we looked at last week or the week before about, the old European colonisation of the New World, that decimated the indigenous population, didn't it? Let's have a look anyway. See if it's that they're on about. New study, could be dangerous. Let's have a look if it's that what they're talking about. Yeah. Oh, yes, it's that. Yeah, we did this last week. Yeah. It could lead to international conflict and potentially disastrous consequences. Yeah, we did this last week. See, we covered all the bases here at that old Yorkshire geek. But anyway, so there's that. But I don't really, you know, I know I'm not a scientist and I've not written any peer-reviewed papers like these chaps have. But to say that, you know, they'd prefer dwarf stars over, you know, what would be classed, you know, main sequence stars like the sun, I wouldn't really go for that. I wouldn't really go for that, to be honest. I know a dwarf star, it's at the end of its life, so it does spend a long time at the end of its life as a dwarf star. The sun, for instance, it's been around for 4 billion years now, and in about 1 billion or 2 billion years or so, it'll start to expand, and life on Earth will become impossible because the sun will start to expand it into a red giant, and it'll do that for about the few 100 million years, and then it'll shrink down to probably a red dwarf, and it'll stay like that for another maybe 7 billion years or thereabouts, until it just, you know, becomes a shell, you know, a husk of its former self. It's all of its nuclear materials used up. So it could be argued that stars in that end of the life could be better for colonisation, but would there be any planets left around them after they've, you know, expanded in red giants? They'll have destroyed any planets that could hold life, or would it mean they've been terraforming, you know, planets, or constructing, you know, stations or planets? I don't know, but you've got to think of these things, and I think of these things quite a lot because, you know, I've got a bit of an imagination. Anyway, we'll move on. Are UFO sightings getting out of hand? This is a quick one. Since 1974, California has been the hotspot for UFO sightings, and sightings have doubled, 50,401. A poll has found that most Americans believe that aliens do exist and they are visiting the planet frequently. Some also believe that scientists and officials have made contact with these extraterrestrial beings. The poll, conducted by myvision.org, also used the data from National UFO Reporting Center database and found that more and more people believe aliens are on Earth. Since 1974, California has been the hotspot for UFO sightings, and the sightings have doubled, for 15,401 by now. The other top 5 US states with the highest number of UFO sightings are Florida, Washington, Texas and New York, with all of them having at least 5,500 sightings. Unexpectedly, Nevada was found to have only 1,605 UFO sightings, despite being the state with the popular classified Area 51 and the extraterrestrial highway and the Little Ailey Inn in Rachel, Nevada. That's on my bucket list. It's never going to happen. The result of the poll has also indicated that the flight paths of UFOs might be changing. In the last 5 years, most UFO sightings were reported in Idaho. People believe that now aliens visit less populated areas, unlike in the past, when most populated areas had the most sightings, maybe because there's more people in there to see things. But anyway, so there you go. Sightings have doubled. Was that in California? Yeah, doubled in California to 15,401. So Californians are seeing more UFOs than ever before. Right, final story, and then we'll get to the final video. Plymouth man legged it home after spotting orb in the sky. Right, is this proof of aliens? There's a video, it took ages for it to load, getting past all the adverts, and all it is just that. That's just an out of focus, you know, dot in the sky, and that's all you see. But anyway, a Plymouth man has described the freaky moment he saw aliens following him down Mutley Plain. The man, who was asked to remain anonymous, says the incident left him so scared he ran all the way home. The anonymous man says his first encounter with possible extraterrestrial life came in July of this year. Since then, he says they've appeared quite regularly to him and his friends. Describing his encounter, he said, "I've seen it loads of times, and it actually followed me home." Can you see that? Yeah. I know that sounds absolutely mental, but I was the hoe. What? And it followed me all the way. Does it mean I was at the hoe? And it followed me, as in Plymouth Hoe. and it followed me all the way up North Hill, along Mutley and to Peveril. In the end, I legged it home because it was freaking me out. The man said he could tell it was following him because it stayed overhead, like stars do. He said it was so bright, it's the brightest thing in the sky, and it flies way lower than normal aircraft. This thing was right above us, and it was moving and following us. As we moved up the hill, it should have stayed behind us, but it didn't. It stayed above us. I got to the end of Mutley, near the Hyde Park pub, and we were literally watching it come down Mutley Plain, and there's still the freaky orb that followed a man home in Plymouth. It's just, I don't know, it could be anything, couldn't it? That's when I decided to run for it, and ran into my house. He told Plymouth Live that he suspects the aliens that followed him home are the same beings that cookery student Dylan Barnes saw in Devonport Park earlier this year. So we're going to have a look at that one now, aren't we? Open link in new tab. Because this is a new one, I think. Plymouth student stunned after spotting UFO over the city. Yeah, we'll come back to that. The 18-year-old also contacted Plymouth Live with claims he had captured proof that beings from another world were visiting Plymouth. In Dylan's footage, a white orb appears to be floating in the sky before moving across the sky at great speed. In remarkably similar footage, the anonymous man also managed to capture video of the orb. The new footage is much better quality, and when zoomed in, the shape appears to move with a raised centre section, or it's out of focus. Giving his thoughts as to what it is, the man said, I think it's an energy source, and because my friends have seen it too, I know it's not just me going crazy. It's like this massive orb of flashing lights. It's really quite freaky. It moves so fast that I struggle to keep up with it with my phone. He added, it's changed my whole outlook on life with UFOs and everything. It's become an obsession, and I'm determined to find out what it is. Some people have said it's an orb, but what is an orb? Remarkably, the man isn't the only one to come forward with proof that aliens exist. Sarah and her husband, who had been a staunch denier of alien life until recently, says they have also seen something strange in the sky. It could be argued that Sarah's picture of the UFO looks similar to the orb that the anonymous man saw. It's like Sirius or Venus. I'm sorry, I'm debunking already, I'm sorry. Although in another photo it looks more question mark shape. I know it sounds really silly, she admitted. And there's a photo, star, Venus, Jupiter. The photo Sarah took looks similar to the other photos of a supposed orb. And here we go, Sarah says the lights kept fading and reappearing, but that's the Pleiades, the star cluster in the constellation of Taurus. That's what that is. But we'll see what she says. At the time, I was doing my ironing, and my husband, who is very sceptical and doesn't believe in aliens, called me to say, Sarah, there's aliens, quick. At first, I thought he was having me on because he's a practical joker. But when we looked, there were these lights in the sky, and they kept fading and moving and coming back. High clouds, At first we thought it was a helicopter, but no, it wasn't a helicopter, that's for sure. I also thought it could be stars, but stars wouldn't move. What was even more strange was that every time Sarah and her husband tried to capture footage of the UFO, it would disappear. She also claims the video on her phone shows the object quite clearly, but whenever she sends it to her friends, the quality drops considerably, so they can hardly see anything. Sarah says she was shocked to see these blurred lines when looking back at her photos. Well, it just didn't hold the camera steady, did she? She explained, the weird thing is on my phone, it's as clear as day. I just took a load of pictures, and when one of the photos came back with a load of blurred lines, I just thought, what the hell was that? What do you make of these two accounts? Let us know if you have an explanation for them by commenting in the comment section below. And if anybody talks about... there's no comments. No, there didn't. But that is definitely... I don't know what they are, but that's... that is consistent with just the camera motion, shake, camera shake. That's what that is, in my opinion. But that's definitely the Pleiades. I can prove it. Hang on, I've got Stellarium up here. Where's it gone? Let me just move this back here. There we go. Oh, I can't show you because it's in a different window because I'm stupid. If you go to Stellarium web... Hang on, I'll do it now. I'll show you in Stellarium. I will show you in Stellarium. And it'll load up my local things. Right, I've got to find it now. I think I've got to go forward in time a little bit to about 10 o'clock at night. So that's what we'll do. There we go. And then we'll see if I get this right. That's going to wait. The Pleiades should appear any minute now. Where are you? Where are you? You're here somewhere. I know you are. I know you're here somewhere. I know you're here somewhere. I'll go a little bit further. There we go. There we go. There we go. So if I zoom in there now. There we go. There's the Pleiades. Look. That's what we see. Can you see? Hang on. I've gone too far that way, haven't I? There we go. Can you see that? There we go. There's the Pleiades. Zooming a bit closer so you can see the shape of it. It's like a question mark. Where are we? Is it that one? So I'll click between them. You can see. See, I'm at the wrong one now. I'm at. Oh no, it's that one, isn't it? There we go. Pleiades question mark. That's what that is. That's what that is, isn't it? It's the Pleiades. I've done the wrong one again. There we go. So I'm sorry, Sarah. You've mistaken the Pleiades for a UFO. And sometimes they do appear to be moving. It's all to do with your own perspective, and your eyes do literally play tricks on you. Especially if you're looking through a window. If you've got like double glazing, objects can appear to move in the sky. If you move your head a bit, they do appear to move because it's the distortion caused by the two panes of glass. So I think that's this is a case of mistaken identity. I think this is just a bright star, or Venus or Jupiter that is seen, and she's seen, and her husband's seen, and it's just obviously maybe they don't know what they're looking at, and they're just mistaking it for a UFO. Now we'll have a look at this chap, this cookery student. A teenage cookery student believes he captured proof that aliens from another world have visited Plymouth. And by that, he didn't mean holidaymakers coming back from Cornwall. Ha ha ha. Dylan Barnes was out at Devonport Park with his girlfriend and his cousin watching the starry sky when a blob of light started moving weirdly and caught his attention. The 18-year-old from the St. Leven area of the city and a college student said it was 11:40 p.m. on Friday, July 29th, when he spotted the moving blob of light and decided to film it on his phone. I presume that's it there. By the way, it's playing away here at the corner of the screen. And it's just another star, that's all it is. It looks like to me. While Dylan did not see a full-scale alien invasion preparing to take over planet Earth, I always take it piss out there. I mean, I try to be serious and sceptical, but I'm not taking it mickey. It looked big but far away. It kept on moving. It looked like something weird was going on, so I thought I'd film it. It felt like it was a UFO, 100%. I do believe there must be some form of extraterrestrial life out there. It was not something I expected to see in the sky over Plymouth. And there we go. So the video's up here. Let's have a look. Click for sound. There we go. So as you can see, there it is. Just a dot in the sky. Am I playing? Are we playing? Yes, we're playing. It could be anything, that, couldn't it? That could be a star. It could be Venus. It could be Jupiter. Let's play it again. My cat's at the window. Oh, go away, adverts. And you can't skip them, can you? Never mind. Tough. The link's in the description. Right, finally. My good friends at I said good friends. I don't know them. The third phase of Moon. They've got a UFO clip. It's an interesting one. I'm not sure what to make of it. Is it real? Is it fake? Is it mistaken identity? You decide. Right, off we go. What, they put music on it for?
make of it, Michael?
Well, what I can see, no wings, no visible means of propulsion, no ailerons, no tail, no horizontal surfaces. I don't see any heat signature. It's an unknown at this point. Not enough information, but certainly not a conventional 172 by any means.
You know, we're seeing like a fleet of these UFOs, and I think they were stating during the Navy encounters, and I think it was Ryan Graves who said that they saw UFOs every day, and there were like hundreds of out there.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yep, so that's... let's have a look at it again. Let's have another look. There you go. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it. Not the audio off. They don't seem to be moving. Have the actual objects. Sometimes you see with these, they've got seem to have, you know, the light on top. But is that caused by, you know, light reflecting off the objects, or is it, you know, a video artifact? It can happen. You know, objects sometimes have a halo around them, don't they? Video artifacting. I don't know. It's an interesting one, is that? I don't know what to make of it. These chaps are just analysing it with one of the twins. Oh, they're talking about other sightings in the past. But yeah, that's an interesting one. Link for that's in the description. So we'll leave it there. That's it for this week. A quick show. Gonna have to let me cat in because she's getting impatient outside. So we will leave it there. I will get rid of that. So wherever you are in the galaxy, look after each other. And until next time, hang on, where's my thingy? There we go. And until next time, I'll see thee.